got a pretty quick one for you guys today. I saw a typewriter script that someone had created. However, I wanted to make it a little bit more advanced. So over the past few days, I've been experimenting, and finally I've come up with a technique that works to get me a scrolling typewriter effect, which is exactly what I mean when you see this. So today we're going to be creating this widget very quickly, and then you guys can take it and expand upon it and probably make it better. But I like the scrolling text effect. That's what I was looking for, and it was giving me some issues, but I finally got it figured. So let me introduce myself, Insomnia from Unreal Tech, a division of Blender Tech, and welcome to the scrolling typewriter video. Remember our motto, create your way, and let's get started. So just grab a folder and right click in the content browser and go to user interface, widget blueprint, and we will just call this debut underscore, that's my prefix, and we will call this tutorial typewriter. And we want to throw a text block in here somewhere. And then we want to click on it, have it selected, go to content text in the details panel, press the bind button, and hit create binding. And that will create a function that sets the text. So we'll call this function set text block. And in that function, we want to have a return value of text. And what we want to do is we want to append a string. So we're going to need some variables. So the first variable we're going to need is text to display. And this is going to be a string. In fact, most of what we're going to be working with is going to be strings. And we're gonna have another one. I'm gonna pretend it's local and go L underscore car. You could also just call it like current character or something like that. And so what we want to do is we want to get both of these by dragging them in while holding down control. So L car and text to display, and we want to drag off the L car drag off the text to display pin and type append. And we're going to append lcar to that and take the return value to the return value of the return node, and just like that. So what it's going to be doing is it's basically going to take whatever message we have written out so far, which will be text to display, and at the end of it, it's going to display the scrolling letters until it finds it, and then it's going to add it to the end of text to display and continue and continue and continue until the message is written. So to get that to happen, we are going to start off of event construct, which if you've turned off default widgets, you can just type in event construct. And so what we want to do, and this could be moved into the macro itself, and we're going to use macros over a function because we're going to use delays, and you can't use delays in a function in Unreal. So anyways, what we want to do is, well, let's create some more variables first. We want cars to use, cars being characters. Let's compile. And so in here, you want to type all the characters that you want it to scroll through. And it's case insensitive, so you don't need to type capital or underscore. Either one will work. These are the ones that it will display. I've had some issues using some weird characters, you know, like these ones, but everything numerical and alphabetic plus the alternate numericals. So you can hold down shift and press the number, those all work. So we'll type in the alphabet A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I think I got it. And then a space, make sure you got a space in there. I like to put in a dot too. Comma is helpful. Stuff like that seems to work. And 109, or sorry, the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Something like that. Whatever letters you're going to use, and add enough that it'll scroll through and make it look interesting. So that's why I also like to add in the shift to numericals. So we'll go shift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Perfect. All right. So what we want to do is we'll also make some more variables while we're here. So we are going to have a cars array. And so this will be a string, and just turn it into array by pressing the little grid icon there. So what we want to do is we want to set that array. So we'll put the execution wires up, and we want to set it by dragging in characters to use, holding down Control to do a getter, drag off of its pin, and type in get array, and you can get a character array from string. So what this will do is it will create an array out of every single character we've typed in here as an index. So if we had typed in 45 characters, we would have 45, it would be a length of 45, and it would be index 0 through 44, starting at 0. So that creates an array from a string, essentially. And after that, what we want to do is we want to shuffle that array. So type in shuffle, because unless you typed it in randomly to start with, otherwise it goes through the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, and I find that not as interesting. But if you want it to go through the letters consecutively, then just don't put in the shuffle. And then after that, we simply want to create a new macro. So press the plus macro button, and we'll call it Typewriter. And we'll go back to the event graph, and we'll drag it in past the shuffle. We'll go back to the Typewriter macro here at the top, and we need some inputs and outputs. So in the input, we want our well, let's start with execute, so our execution pin, and let's do that in the output as well. If you type in execute, it'll make it invisible, and if you type in then, it'll also make it invisible. Little trick for you there. And that's all we need to output. But in the input, we need to take our character array in, so car array in, and that will be a string array. And we want to take in a message, so type in message, and then just click the grid to turn it back into a regular string. And if we go back to the event graph, you'll see it's now set up, so we can plug the shuffle execution into the typewriter execution, the car array in. Since the shuffle doesn't give you an output, you will have to drag it over and connect it. And then you can either type in a message, or you could create a variable and plug it in there. I'm just going to type in a message. So what we want to do now to build this is we're going to start with taking the message and doing the same thing, get character array, so get character array from string, and we're going to take that return value, and we're going to create another variable called message array, and then we're going to set that, so hold down Alt and drag it in, and take the return value there and plug it in, clean that up. So we want to set the message array, and then we want to do a for each loop, so hold down F and click, and the array in is going to be our character array in. So I'm going to go up here, let me just turn my keyboard to Unreal 4 macro mode. So we want to create a reroute node up here and up there, and then connect it. So it'll basically go through every single character till it finds the one that we need for our message. So in the body, I've added a lot extra in here that you probably don't need, so it can be cleaned up a bit. I'm just going to go through what I do have. Though we're going to need a variable called b can type. Uncheck the array button and turn it to a boolean, and then drag that in as a getter. So hold down control and then hold down B and click for a branch, and that's the first thing in the loop body. So that our condition will be B can type, and it will default to false. And if false, we'll take our output here. If false, then we want to set B can typed to false, and then we want to just return to the output. Something like that. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Alright, but if true, so this will be our regular array, and you could probably get rid of this stuff. I was using it to do multiple messages, but I haven't perfected that yet. But anyway, so off of true, we're going to set L_car. And what we're going to set it to is we're going to take the character array in and drag it over here and type in get. So we're going to get the array. Just going to clean this up. I'm going to give it a little bit of reroute nodes by double clicking on the wires here if you're working in 4.8. Connect that to that. And then the index we want is we need to make one. So make a new variable, which we will call car index. It'll be character index. It'll be of type integer. And that will be what we get. And its default value will be 0, so you don't need to worry about changing that. And so after we've set that character, then we go into another branch, hold down B and click. Its condition is we take lcar and we check is it equal. Now in 4.8 there's a bug where you can't just type the signs in, so you need to type equal, and you want equal case insensitive. That way it doesn't matter if there's capital letters or not. If you put in characters to use upper and lowercase, and you want upper and lowercase in your message, then you can use case sensitive, but it will be more finicky. So that will go into the branch there. And what we're going to compare it to is our message array. So take our message array output, let's make a reroute node, bring it over, and we'll do a get. And what we want to get, very similarly, is a message index. So type in a new variable of integer type called message index, and then just plug it in. Just like so. Alright, so basically that's checking is the current character that we're displaying equal to the current character in our message. So if we're at the 4th character, once the characters that it's scrolling through hits that, once they're equal, then it'll be true. Otherwise it'll go through the false. So, if false, if it's not the right letter, then we want to do a delay, and we want to take the duration, right click, promote to variable, and we want to call this type speed. And set this, so we'll hit compile, set this to something like 0.0625 or something. You can play with the speed depending on what kind of effect you want. And then what we want to do is we want to take our character index and bring it in as a getter holding down control, and we want to increment it. Now incrementers are way faster than doing it in the old blueprint way, where you would take it and you would do a +1 and then you would set it like so. I've done a lot of testing, and incrementers are about 2 to 3 times faster than that, in addition to the fact that they make it so that this setup is way less complicated. We don't need to make fake loops and stuff in here, and that's I was having a lot of issues with infinite loops until I started using incrementers. So yeah, that is it there. So then on the true branch, we want to set text to display. What we want to set it to is we want to again append, and we want to append itself, so text to display, and B is going to be the current character. So just like we set it up in the function. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. And that might not even be needed. You might be able to delete this entirely. But anyways, after that, because of the function, we want to increment another int, and this one being the message index. So basically, and then we want to set car index to -1. So basically that's resetting it back to the beginning of our character list. Although since it increments, you could technically not use that. It doesn't really matter. So basically it's saying if the character is equal to, or is the character equal to the current message character. If it is, then put it into the display, increment the message index so that we can move on to the next one to look for, and then set the ones that we're gonna scroll through back to the beginning. If it's not, then delay and check the next letter by incrementing the index. So all we need to do now is go back to the for each loop at the beginning, and once it's completed, what we need to do is another delay of duration type speed. Otherwise this doesn't work for some reason. I think it's a little bit too fast. You need to delay it just enough so that the CPU can keep up. So once it's completed, we need to go into a branch. So we'll make a branch back here. So once the for each loop is completed, it goes into a branch, and the condition is text to display, we'll do that as a getter, again equal to, so type in equal, case insensitive, is it equal to our message? We'll make that look a little nicer there. You know what, maybe we'll go like that, and then like that. Do something with it. So that's our condition. And if it is, so basically if we're done, if our message, or if we're displaying our message, then we go through the output chain. If not, false, then we go through the loop again, just like that. So let's give it a test. Compile, save. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to right click and make a new blueprint class, and in all classes search for HUD, select HUD, and then just call it test typewriter HUD, something like that. And in this event graph, we want to go event begin play, create widget, and the widget we want to create is the one we just made, widget tutorial typewriter. Then take the return value, drag off of it, and add to viewport. So then hit compile and save. Go into your map, go window and turn on world settings. Then beside the details panel, you'll get the world settings tab, and you'll have your selected game mode. I'm in third person game mode because I'm in the third person template. Just change your HUD class to that one you just made. So that's test typewriter HUD, and hit play. I guess I was playing the whole time. No, okay, I have an infinite loop. Let's see, where is it? Let's see. So we set the characters, and then we shuffle it. Oh, we need to set can type to true before we do a typewriter macro. Let's try that. Compile, play. Apparently not. Let's see here. Where did I screw up? Okay, very simple. Remember I told you how you need the delay or else it would bug out? That's the only issue. So off of the false, where we check if text to display is equal to message, just go false into a delay, so you can hold down D and click to get a delay, and do a delay of type speed or something else if you want to make it go through the letters faster or slower, and then go back into the execution of the for each loop. So compile and save that, hit play, and you should get your message printing out. Now, as you can see, I've made my text block not wide enough, so you could do that. You could also, if you wanted, add a wrap box. So what that does is once it gets to the edge, it starts going on the next line, and you could put your text block in there. And another way to add some interestingness to it is to add sound. So over here, you can play sound 2D. So that plays a sound with no attenuation. It's just for UI. You have a few options: volume, pitch, start time, and I'm just going to use a triple dirty. This is from the universal sound effects pack on the marketplace. So compile, save, play. You could also have it play that sound as it's iterating letters, sorry, if you connected it to the false, I believe. Yeah. That's kind of annoying though. And you can play with the type speed. So I've got it 0.06. If you change it to like 0.01, it's gonna fly through there. So that gives you more of like a Pokemon look. But I find this gives you more of that like submarine kind of sci-fi messages that you would see on like a map and stuff. So yeah, that is about it. you are able to do multiple messages if you then go and zero everything out. So you would set the character index or the car index to 0, you set the message index to 0, you'd set can type to false, then you would probably do a delay, and then you would do can type to true, and then you would do another typewriter macro. However, while that does work, let's see here, let's go ABC. It doesn't stop at the end of the second message. We'll just say, hey, and it needs the character array in. We'll compile, save, and play. ABC, hey, and then it just continues. And in this case, it didn't even start a new line. So I'm missing something else there. Even oh yeah, you have to clear the text to display as well. So if we clear text to display, set it to a space or null, I think would work just fine. So you get ABC, hey, but then it continues looping. So it's not breaking out of the loop where it checks if text to display is equal to. And that could be because I think you don't need this one right here, to be honest. I think you just need to iterate message index. I could be wrong, but we can test that real quick. No. It's finding the letters, but it's just going to continue. So yeah, I haven't found a fix to that yet. If you guys can think of a way around that or find a way, definitely let me know. Because I've been messing with that. But yeah, that is that's an advanced level typewriter setup there. Scrolling typewriter. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope that helps you add some effects to your game. So thanks for watching from the team here at Unreal Tech, a division of BlenderTech.com. If you enjoyed this video and learned something, please like it, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. We're on social media on the links on your screen. If you disliked this video for some reason, please tell us why so we can continually improve based on your community input. We also take requests, so we'll see you next time. Remember, create your way.